Right at the onset of the House probe on their water concession agreements, both Maynilad and Manila Water announced that government no longer has to pay for their arbitral win, amounting over 10 billion pesos, a victory awarded to them by a Singaporean court for the non-implementation of rate hikes in different cases.
Sang-ayon po kami sa direktiba ng Presidente, sa kagustuhan ng Presidente, wag na ho naming habulin yung historical arbitral award sa amin.
Di nyo na po ba sisingilin yung 7.4 billion na arbitral award sa inyo?
Po sir, susunod po kami sa kagustuhan ng gobyerno at ng pamahalaan at ng Pangulo po.
Both firms are also willing to scrap onerous provisions in the contract, including the corporate income taxes passed on to consumers. Despite this, lawmakers still grilled both firms, particularly on a 2037 extension when the deal has yet to expire in 2022. Compliance to service obligations was also questioned.
We see that the concessionaires have performed very poorly. Their target for 2016 sewer coverage was supposed to be 31%. However, ang nakamit lang po nila ay 13%.
Anong basis, anong procedure ng naganap na renewal ng contracts?
Water Board MWSS though insists project reviews were done amid the extension as part of the rate rebasing. Manila Water meanwhile explained it was the government which extended the contract to allow them to have 100% sewer coverage in its customers following the Clean Water Act. The government then wanted to mitigate huge increases in water tariff if the projects were to be completed immediately.
Mitigate po the increase to the water tariff because of the expansion of the wastewater requirements po. Gawin na nating 15 years para mas mababa pa yung impact nung tariff increase po. Kaya po even in the mandamus, Your Honor, the deadline set by the Supreme Court for the mandamus is 2037 because that was the submission po that was given to us, that was our commitment to MWSS.
Mahirap pong i-implement yung 5-year na 100% sa dahilan po ng dalawang rason lang po. Traffic at saka taripa or presyo. Traffic kasi po, maglalatag po kami lang po ay 425 kilometers pa po ang ilalatag namin sa loob ng populated Metro Manila at matraffic na Metro Manila.
Both firms are now appealing a Supreme Court decision penalizing them for failure to connect all customers to sewage lines. The firms also defended increasing water rates to fund projects.
Ang increase po is a function of what we are ordered to do po. It is a function of the additional facilities and planta, tubo, lahat po na idadagdag to the system na aabunuhan po namin. Ngayon po, ang aming pong trabaho po ay kung anong iuutos sa amin na gagawin at inapruba na gagawin, yun ang gagawin namin dahil yun lang po ang basihan ng increase.
Hindi po kami nalulugi. Ngunit dahil ko lang ho dagdagan na as of this date po, mas malaki pa po ang nilagak namin sa concession kaysa sa nakolekta namin.
The committees urged the two firms to submit reports on their financial income. Meanwhile, both firms agreed that they will defer the implementation of rate hikes on January 2020. Shaila Francisco, VR1 News.
President Rodrigo Duterte again assailed the water concessionaires for what he deemed were lopsided agreements that he says essentially bargained away national sovereignty. In a speech before newly promoted officers of the Fire and Jail Management Bureaus and the Coast Guard, Mr. Duterte said he is willing to talk with the water firm's owners and government lawyers behind the agreement, but he warned about expropriating everything if he finds their explanations wanting.
What the did you do? And screwed the country. Now, pag hindi ako ma-satisfy, I will expropriate everything. Kunin ko lahat. Pag-demanda ka na mag-demanda.
The water companies, despite expressing openness to renegotiating their respective contracts with government, are not necessarily off the hook, says the palace. Economic sabotage charges are still on the table, says spokesman Salvador Panelo, and that could even cover former Presidents Fidel V. Ramos and Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, who was the sitting president when the extension was granted. Should the accord with the two firms be cut, Panelo says government will take over pending a rebidding of the concessions. Panelo, however, took issue with speculations that the president is putting the squeeze on the water companies just to give advantage to his allies, including the Villar family who owns Prime Water.
That's nonsense. Si Presidente ba? Walang mga alay-alay kay Presidente. Binanggit niya lang na maganda record. Doesn't mean ipapalit niya. Of course. Saka kahit na alay, pag mali, kulong. Or fired.
The Villar family's matriarch, Senator Cynthia Villar, also dismissed these speculations. She says the president merely appreciates her husband, Manny Villar's own rags-to-riches story. She took a swipe at Manila Water in Maynilad, which she says had been established for generations and were simply inherited. As to whether or not Prime Water will make a run at being a water concessionaire, the senator said that's up to their eldest son, Paulo, who heads the water utility firm.
Hindi ko alam. Kasi ang any business, pinag-aaralan yan. At kung sino yun ang mamanage siya, mag-aral.